All right, everybody, welcome back to the Friday Night Prepper pre-party show. How are you all doing tonight? This is probably going to be a short one and very loosely structured. I struggled with ideas this week. I had, obviously there's some big stuff that happened that I could have gone over, but I feel like all that stuff's been talked about. I will briefly hit on that tonight. You guys know what I'm talking about. Let me know in chat if I'm getting if the audio is coming through good. And I see some people are already here. Moonsprout, Forager Chick, Vision Preparedness. Good to see everybody. Reliable Preppers. Good to see you. Yeah, thank you, everybody. So there's a poll at the top. And when you're checking in, if you could, go vote in the poll. Thank you, Vision. Appreciate that. Let me know if you would ever eat lab-grown meat. I'm very curious where people fall on this. I'll give you my thoughts on that at the end. I'll try to remember to. You guys know I get distracted. And as always, please be kind to the mods. We ask you to, be respectful to each other, please. No racism, no sexism. Those are kind of standard rules here at our live stream every week. Mods have permission to throw you into timeout or toss you out of the stream altogether if you're a problem. We don't usually have a problem, so that's just kind of a FYI. Let's see. So next week, real quick, I don't know that I'm even going to have time to get a long form video out this weekend. I did record something. The question is, do I have the time to edit it? I am traveling next week to Blade Show. So that is going this weekend. I have a lot of stuff I got to take care of. It's highly questionable if I'll be able to get out any more long form content or even edit the one that I did. But I will have some shorts releasing next week. And if I'm able to, I will go live next Friday from the hotel. That's a big if, because, I'm going to be staying in a hotel with hundreds of other people, most of whom are probably there for Blade Show. So everyone's going to be fighting for bandwidth. It's highly questionable if I'll be able to go live Friday night, but if I can, I will. I think that's it for announcements. Silver and Gold's doing really good. If you guys are into silver and gold, I put my affiliate link in the description, of course, and also at the top of chat. So you can help me out by using my link. It's no extra charge to you. AppMex is a very reliable delivery. Is very, very reliable precious metals online dealer. Can't find my words. I've been using them for years, long before I was an affiliate with them. I've been using them, and always get what you want. Always get what you ordered. No fake silver. It comes discreetly delivered to your house. It doesn't say in big letters like silver and gold. It's just like a discrete package. So if you don't have access to a local coin shop, that's the way to go. Or maybe you, like me, you do have a local coin shop, but he doesn't have a great variety. My local coin shop pretty much only carries American coins, which are great. I mostly stack American coins, but I also like to get some other stuff like Canadian coins, like European coins, things like that. So check them out. Links in the description and in the top of chat. Wayne, it's good to see you, brother. How you doing tonight? Southern Tier Prepper, how you doing, my friend? Coffee first. Appreciate everybody. Emerald Coast Stacker, thanks for joining us. No lab-grown meat for you, I guess, huh? What about cricket flour, Emerald Coast Stacker? Are you going to eat some cricket flour bread? Good to see everybody. All right, so need a coffee. Yeah, I hear that, unknown. I could go for one myself right now. I'm fading hard today. All right, so big elephant in the room, which I'm just briefly going to talk about because everybody else is already talking about this. If you are okay, cool. Yeah, definitely get some time in with those pets. That's what I'm going to do after this. Actually, we're going to watch. Me and my cat are going to watch the last episode of Three Body Problem. Really fun sci-fi series that I've really been enjoying, and I've got one episode that I saved for tonight, so I'm excited to finish that off. Big elephant in the room, of course, is the Trump trial verdict. Again, everybody's talking about this, so I'm going to keep my thoughts on it brief. Number one, I want to say, I see people online bashing New York, and I get if you're upset with the legislators and the judicial system in New York. I get that. I think this whole thing was kind of screwy, personally. If they wanted to try him, why did they wait till right before the election to do it? That's my first question. And the second question is, second point that I would have is, and again, I'm not saying like you guys have to believe the exact same things as me. I'm just sharing my thoughts. Second point on this is if so if you have to understand, like, white collar crime doesn't usually get prosecuted at all. This is you are absolutely allowed to, they kept calling it a hush money trial. Okay, so you are allowed to pay somebody for non-disclosure. There's nothing illegal about that. And I'm not saying it's ethically a good thing to cheat on your wife or pay somebody to have sex with you when you're married. I don't agree with that stuff. But there's nothing illegal about paying somebody for non-disclosure. Like this whole concept of hush money, that was not a crime anyways. So the alleged crime was basically what I would call an accounting error. Okay, so that it wasn't documented in a way that it should have been on tax forms. Now, assuming all that is true, and that to me that probably is true. In most cases, in a situation like that, you would not see somebody go through this kind of situation where they're dragged through the mud, they're dragged to a trial, faced with possible jail time, felony counts. You would have a meeting with the IRS and they would sit down and they would say, we got a problem, what's happening here? And it probably gets settled in most cases at that level, right? But because of who he is, this became like a circus sideshow. Okay, these are my own personal thoughts. You don't have to agree with me. And by the way, I don't like a lot of things about Trump. I really don't. I don't like that he cheated on his wife. I don't like the comments that he said to that undercover camera thing a couple years ago. I thought that was really gross and crude. I don't find his behavior and the way that he talks to be presidential. But I can also say that financially, as a business president, he was the best president, arguably, in the history of this country. And more people were pulled out of poverty in his 4 years than at any other time in not only in the history of the United States, probably in the history of the world. So it is the best economically that our country had ever done for 4 years. That I do approve of. And you can, we can sit here and argue and say, oh, well, yeah, the rich benefit. No, yeah, the rich did benefit. That's true. Yes, they did. But a lot of middle class people were pulled up. A lot of people who were below middle class in terms of economic status were pulled into middle class. So those 4 years were the best financial 4 years in the history of this country, maybe in the history of the world. So that I do think he did a fantastic job with. I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. I've talked about this before. I am somebody who votes who I think is going to do the best job. And I found this whole thing to be like a kangaroo court, circus sideshow, just like ridiculous. Weaponization of the judicial system. That's what it seems like to me. And I speak as somebody who finds his behavior disgusting. Okay. So let's see how this plays out in November. My message here is, and then we're going to move past this. I promise. I'm not gonna tie up the stream with this. My message here is, number one, I am asking everybody in my audience, please remember, we have good people in New York, right? We know there's good people in Gotham City. We know this. We know that Angry Prepper is there and he's doing the best that he can to educate people and help people. We know that Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival is there and they're good people and they're trying to help and educate people, right? So there are good people stuck in occupied territory. Okay. If you want to say that, I'm saying that. So let's not just like blatantly bash New Yorkers. I don't think that's okay, guys. If you want to direct it at the particular individuals, if you're angry and you want to direct your thoughts at those individuals, that's what freedom of speech is for. 100% support you. Thing two, the last little point for me on this, and I will check your comments because I know people are commenting here, is remember that on this channel, I am a very big advocate for peaceful protest, not violent protest, right? So if you're upset, I don't think the solution is to go out and do this stuff like you see behind me. I really don't. Your peaceful protest can happen in November when you vote. Do not block a highway. I've given you my thoughts on that. I care about you. I don't want you to become a road pizza. Your life matters more. right? You really do. You matter. And don't do that. It is the stupidest form of protest anyone has ever imagined, to stand on a highway and think that you're not going to become a road pizza. Don't do it. Protest with your vote, right? That's why we have this. Yeah, things are kind of screwed up in our country. Yes. I don't think this is the worst that we've ever seen it. And even as bad as things are, we still have it better than a lot of other places in the world. We really do. So we have the right to vote. Use it. Bring a friend. Drag them to the voting booth. I don't care who you vote for. I really don't. Vote for Biden. Vote for Trump. Vote for Robert F. Kennedy. Write in Mickey Mouse if you want to write in Mickey Mouse, but vote. It says something. You're making a statement, and it is, in my opinion, it's your right. Your voting is your license to complain. Okay, if you didn't vote, you shouldn't complain because you didn't at least try to do something about it. Okay, let's check your chat. Once we get through those comments, I'm moving past this topic, folks. All right. Yeah, I think he did gain some votes with this. I don't think it's going to work out the way that people think it is. I think that he did gain some votes. Doc All, it's good to see you. Cricket flower a go. Okay, you know what, Emerald? Let's start with that. You enjoy that. Bacon, it's good to see you. Hey, Bacon, make sure you check out Forager Chick's video. She shows you how to make mushroom bacon. I didn't even know this was a thing. Make sure you check that out. I've had Beyond Burgers. I'll talk about that at the end if I remember to come circle back to it. That's right. And again, let's not hold the entire population of the state accountable for the actions of a few. Right? I don't think that's okay. Um, we're getting more and more into like the city. Yeah. So I mean, I've lived in the great state of Massachusetts. I've lived in the bluegrass state of Kentucky, and now I live in the Palmetto State, or the holy city of Charleston, in South Carolina. There is certain politics of culture that go on in different areas, and it can be hard if you are the one person, or one of a few people in your area who thinks differently than the majority who live in that area. And it can be really, really hard to speak your mind without being bullied. And there's let's be honest, that goes on in the north and it goes on in the south, right? So if you are a liberal Democrat in the south, especially in certain areas, you're going to have a hard time if you speak your mind. But maybe you should do it anyways because your freedom of speech does matter. If you are a conservative in some of these northern states, especially the northeast area and parts of California. Not all parts of California. I see you, Steve. I get it. But parts of California, especially the cities like LA and San Diego, San Francisco, if you're conservative in those areas, you're going to get bullied a lot for speaking your mind. But maybe you still should. That's why we have freedom of speech. People fought and died so that you could peacefully, peacefully. Non-disclosure forms. That's right. That's right. And you can. I've worked. Maybe some of you have too. I've worked for companies that made me sign non-disclosure forms for trade secrets, right? And there's clauses in there to protect them from maybe some things that they have done that they don't want getting out to the public. I'm not saying illegal. I'm not even saying unethical. I'm saying stuff that doesn't, look well, if it got out into the public. And sometimes non-disclosures include stuff like that. It's it's common and it's legal. I am looking forward to the debates. I think I'm going to be popping my popcorn that night. Yep. Yep. I agree. Southern Chair Prepper. Yep. I think you said it as well as anybody could. Yep. Yeah, this is a kangaroo sideshow in my opinion, you know. It wouldn't if he wasn't who he was, this wouldn't have been handled like this. It just wouldn't, guys. White collar crime like this does not get this kind of treatment. It just doesn't. Um, it just doesn't. You would have a meeting with the IRS and they would say, "What's going on here? We need to correct this. Why did this happen? Why did you do this? Why did you do it this way?" And your lawyers would be involved, and it usually gets settled out there, and you would pay whatever penalties or fees are involved with that. But not dragged through the mud to try to ruin your chances for a political election and to basically weaponize the judicial system. It's not good, and it really did. This whole thing destabilized our country even more than it was already destabilized. Um, yeah, yeah. So I the king shame thing. So here's I sort of agree with that in that I'm not perfect, and I don't like to get too judgy about what people do. It's kind of between him and Melania, to be honest. Do I? I know that conflicts because I don't personally think it was okay, but at the same time, I don't think it should have been my business. I hope that makes sense. And let's be honest, not the first president who was cheating on their spouse. And maybe it wasn't cheating. Maybe he had her permission for all I know. The only one who knows the answers to that is DJT and Melania. Maybe she was okay with it. You know, Ozzy Osbourne used to have his show with Sharon, and they would talk about like there were certain things that he was allowed to do on tour and certain things that she had forbidden on tour, and that's something between husband and wife, not something that the rest of us get to be privy to. So me personally, do I have a problem with it? Yeah. But I also feel like that's for them to work out, right? That doesn't, in my opinion, mean that he's a disqualifier for president any more than Clinton was, any more than John F. Kennedy was, or probably dozens and dozens of other, presidents who've come along through the years. Um, I mean, I can't deny, even if I don't like things about him, I can't deny that our country did the best, at least financially, and I would say foreign policy wise too, that like we were on a path to a safer America. Now we're on a path where we have very, very tense relations with a very important trade partner in China, and it gets more tense by the minute. Follow if you know how you can train your algorithm to show you news, right? So I've been using Bing to show me stories that I'm interested in. Some of them are completely unrelated to prepping, like I like stories about physics, stuff like that. But there's stuff happening every day now that's making our relations whoops, sorry, I just kicked a wire, making our relations with China very, very tense, and I'm very, very worried about that. That is a war that we do not want to get into. You will lose children and grandchildren, right? Your kids will get drafted to war if we get into a war with China, and that is a war that could go on for a very long time, and we will not be the same as a country afterwards, right? Could we win? Yeah, of course, but not without tremendous damage, not without putting our country back 7 or 8 generations, economically, culturally, everything, you name it. Yeah, we got to use gratitude. I agree with that. Unknown. That's a. You know what? I'm glad you said that. That is a good thing to remind ourselves of. Is that no matter how bad things can seem, we need to have gratitude for the good things that we do have. I don't want anybody to become road pizza guys. I really don't. I don't want to see anybody get. I don't care if I even disagree with your politics or whatever. I don't want to see you become a road pizza. Please stop protesting in the streets, folks. Stop. Your life matters. Your life matters, and worse than that, or and you're blocking people who need to get to the hospital. You're blocking parents who need to get home to little kids that are home alone from school. Just it's the stupidest form of protest imaginable. Stop. Use your thinky think, right? I'm stealing Steve's word there. Yeah, destroying things is no good. I agree with that. And once we get to once you oh, there's Steve. Hey, it's good to see you, brother. Uh Once you get to a point where your protest is like breaking into buildings, stealing iPhones and Nikes and stuff like that, you have lost any empathy and support that you might have gotten from me. Because now you're just rioting. You're not protesting, you're rioting. And we're not going to agree there. We're just not. So I mean, I haven't really talked about that too much, but we do give away a lot of money to other countries when we have people in this country who are struggling. I know of veterans that can't afford housing. I know of young people that can't afford housing. We have tons and tons of people in this country that could use the kind of money that we just like write blank checks for other people. I got a problem with that too. Not to say that we shouldn't help our allies. Yeah, of course we have to, but it seems disproportional, right? Mushroom bacon is amazing. So you all need to check out that video from Forager Chick. Actually, Forager Chick, you have admin, you have mod privileges. Can you link that for people in chat so people can check that out? The mushroom bacon video, please. No moat for California, but I was hoping Lee was going to be here. I did want to hear about Texas. There's a Texas referendum again. Does anybody know anything about this to secede? I haven't been able to dig into that one. Sarge does not want to be president. Let me be crystal clear. Sarge does not want to be president. I have been approached by both parties at different points in my life to get involved. Not just like the level that like I'm talking about, like voting and stuff like that, but to run. I have been approached and told that I would be sponsored and that kind of stuff because I do public speaking and I'm active and I can talk to anybody really because of my job. That's part of the job skills that I need. I do not want any piece of that. It is not for me. I would not put, and the primary reason is I would not put my family through that because politics is so dirty, like disgustingly muddy, dirty, that they will go. And if I kicked a frog when I was 5 years old, they will find out and they will drag your family through the mud. And I wouldn't put my family through that, quite frankly. Until we learn to do politics better, nope, not for me. What I do though is I've helped numerous people campaign, including presidential candidates. I briefly helped with Tulsi Gabbard's campaign when she was running a couple of years ago. Got to meet her, awesome person. We would have had a great president with Tulsi. She was amazing. So I do that. I help out, and I've met some other politicians too. I met Governor Beshear in Kentucky and Representative Barney Frank in Massachusetts, who actually was a really great advocate for mental health services. I mean, I've met a few of them over the years, and you can set up appointments with these people. It's not as complicated as people think. You call the office, you ask if you can set up an appointment. You're gonna get, what I'm about to say is like you're gonna get more ear time if you can do something for them, right? Like if you can bring them a check for their campaign or whatever. It's just how it is. It's a broken system, guys. We do the best we can within a broken system. Doc Gall, thank you for letting us know. All right. I just want to see if I missed anything here. Okay. I didn't know that. Thank you. Well, if you know what? If you guys build a wall around Florida, I just want you to be able to give me a pass so that I can get in and out because I like to visit Florida. The third largest state in the country isn't just LA and San Francisco, but hey, people get off on hating it. All right. It's several non-disclosure. And yep. Wow. Okay. I was reading Wayne's comment there. To say it's just another step. I'd say that, yep, it's destabilization. That's what it feels like. Well said, Steve. Yep, that's well said right there, too. So, Doc, if you're going to do that, you got to, I did not have sexual relationships with that young woman. That's how you got to do that. Y'all know who I was referencing, right? VIPs having planes is more. Yep. And that becomes weaponized too, right? No, I don't think that was the case with this situation, but we know for a fact that that's right out of the PSYOP playbook is you invite people to a big party, you get them a little bit toasty, and then you send them off to a room with some prostitutes, and there's cameras in the room, and now you basically own that person for life. That is a legitimate weapon of psyops that happens all the time to control people of power. Yeah, they got the numbers, that's for sure. And they got great tech. They got great tech. And the next war that the US gets into is going to be fifth generation warfare. So if you don't know what that is, we're talking drones, robots, cyber attacks. And it's already happening, right? Like that's already like what's going on in terms of warfare, but there will be next level if we get into like a multi-nation war, world war, whatever you want to call it. There, every nation is sitting on tech that they haven't told the others about. I know this for a fact because I've worked with veterans and I've heard stories about the tech that the United States has. It's pretty flippin' impressive, and we haven't shown it to anybody yet. But I also guarantee you that China has tech that we haven't seen, and Russia has tech that nobody's seen. So there's pieces of the chessboard that are not on the chessboard, and fifth generation is going to be some really scary, scary stuff. Okay, I'll check it out, Bacon. Kentucky Survivalist said, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the notifications. I'm sorry, but you'd go for the lab grown meat. Okay, yeah. So if you're just tuning in, don't forget to vote in the poll at the top. I want to know if you would eat lab grown meat. Now, let's say it's not a survival situation, right? Because honestly, I think in a survival situation, if you're hungry enough, you're going to eat it, and you're going to eat whatever. You're going to eat earthworms and crickets and whatever. But let's say it's not a survival situation. Would you try lab grown meat? It's just dumb protesting in a road, isn't it? Protest at the ballot box. That's right. That is the best thing that you can do. All right. At least you put it out there. And there's in chat or in chat, check out Forager Chick's link. That's the mushroom bacon that we were talking about. No, I don't even write me in. I don't want no part of it. I don't want no part. And honestly, I haven't picked a candidate yet. I can tell you who I'm not voting for. He's in the White House right now. He would have to pull off some miracle to change my mind. Like part the Red Sea or something like that. But what I'm doing with my vote, I haven't decided yet. Nobody's earned it. Nobody's earned it. One person has lost it. Nobody's earned it yet. So I'm not endorsing anybody. Let me be crystal clear about that. At this point, I may when we get closer, but at this point, I'm not endorsing anybody. I didn't really kick a frog. At least if I did, I didn't do it intentionally. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I know that I accidentally stepped on ants, right? Like, and I've killed wasps and stuff like that. I guess you could say that I was being cruel to animals. I mean, I intentionally killed those wasps, and no regrets there. And you guys know I love critters. I don't want to kill anything, but man, I will not hesitate to stomp out a wasp. Florida wall will have gates. Okay, so as long as I can get a pass. Oh man, now I see that I see a T-shirt in the making there. A bio of growing up meat cells is a hard pass. Hey Vanessa, how are you? Oh, there you go. Now you're thinking creatively. I like that. Use it for bait to catch some real fish. That's it. If it would work, I mean, nobody's gonna know till we try it. Yeah. So what they can do with drones is crazy, crazy. And that might work for one or two, but again, they can use them in coordinated fleets now. Somebody needs to do that. Somebody needs to do that and make a video of it. And let's see if it works. uh, y'all are killing me. I actually needed a good laugh tonight. Thank you. I didn't. I haven't looked closely enough. Tell me what his thoughts are on the Second Amendment. I don't like frogs' legs. I've eaten them and I will eat them again if it was a survival situation. Personally, I don't get where people say it tastes like chicken. Maybe I had it and it wasn't cooked right. Maybe I needed to drown it in hot sauce or whatever. To me, they were like greasy and tasted more like fish skin than chicken. But if you're starving, if you're hungry, you don't get to be choosy, right? So, personally, I would not pick them again for myself unless I was in a survival situation. Yeah, there now you're talking. That's more up my alley here. Speaking of which, I have something to open while I got y'all here. Got a package from our friends at Wazoo Survival Gear. Well, how was it? I did try one roasted barbecue season cricket. That's far. Was it okay? No, I can't say that that's ever happened to me. We have plenty of gators here, and I usually give them at least a 30 foot space bubble. Yeah, see, I think there could be a whole different like somebody could create a whole playlist of this. They taste like frog legs. Well said. Crickets are kosher. Okay. I didn't die. So Forger Chick says I did not die. It was just crunchy without the head and the legs. Okay. So it just tasted like something fried, basically. Sounds like. All right. So moving on. I was going to do a quick unboxing with y'all tonight. Got a package from our friends over at Wazoo Survival Gear. So I actually know what this is before I even open it, but we're going to open it anyways. And since Father's Day is coming up, I want to make a suggestion for those of you who are wondering what to get your dad. This knife here, that's what the link is that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Holtzman Gorilla Survival Venture Point. I love this knife, and it's under $65. At least last time I checked, it's under $65. There's also a link in the description with a discount code. This thing is awesome. Love this knife. And every year I change my EDC. It's going to be really hard for me to give this one up come November when I usually do that. But this knife is really fast, really fun, and it's D2 steel, so it's a tool steel, which means it's very hard and it holds an edge really well. The only knock, sometimes people feel like D2 steel is hard to sharpen, but once you got it sharpened, it stays sharp for a really long time. So I have only had to touch this up like a couple times, barely at all, because it's held that edge really good. And I've been using this now for almost 6 months. Almost 6 months. This is the Venture Point. You got your links. Father's Day gift. Your dad's going to love that. Trust me. All right, let's open this package. So of course now with Wazoo survival gear, you guys know that I've got a discount code in the description as well for that. I actually think there's a sale going on this weekend, so it might be worth it to check out that sale over my instead of my discount code, because usually you can't combine them. So you might get a better deal with the sale, but if you use my link, I'll still get a little commission. So I appreciate that. Helps me run the channel. Helps. Oh man, I just made a mess. Busting out the vacuum, I guess. I cut the package the wrong way, so I got like that dusty inside of it. All right, so I know I've shown you this before. In fact, I did a full review of this. Sorry if you see all that dust floating around. I cut the package the wrong way. I did a full video on this. This is the bandana net from Wazoo Survival Gear. So I know they did a little upgrade to this. Let me see if I can figure out what the upgrade was. All right, so let me show you this real quick. You can watch the full video if you want to. Oh, I think I see what it is. Okay, the bandana net on the back. So if you can see this, I know I've got green screen. There's a mosquito net on the back. So you're foraging, whatever you put in here will actually breathe and not wilt. But you can also wear this, and I've seen people do this as like a mosquito net if you're in the woods and it's really mosquito heavy. That is actually an upgrade from the previous version. I can tell the difference already in the quality and how much of it is actually covered with the net. So that's the new version of it. Now on the front here, Forager Chick, do you have one of these? It's got some of your most common foraged plants and a little key in the middle that tells you, like, is it medicinal? Is it edible? Can it be used to start fires? Things like that. So I love this. I've got the one that I had, and this is probably replacing that now. I take every time I go hiking. It's with me every time I go hiking. It's part of my survival kit. And they sent a sticker pack here too. Let me see if I can get those out. Man, I really made a mess. I'm glad you can't see what I did. Wow. I got that like cardboard stuff all over the place. All right, so some new stickers here from Wazoo as well. Oh, that's cool. Kind of looks like the Amazon one. You got one that looks kind of like G.I. Joe. I think that's been their sticker there for a little while. You got that one. And then you got one that's like MTV. Right? If you turn it upside down. So that's the cool new sticker pack. Thank you, Wazoo Survival Gear. Dustin is a good guy. Met with him a couple times. Talked to him on the phone a few times. He's actually given me really good career advice. We got to eat a meal together at Georgia Bushcraft. It's good people. It's a good company. And they source really, really good materials for all of their products. So another great Father's Day gift idea there. Oh, they're making a mushroom one. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And they also have a tracking one for people who are into like animal tracks and stuff like that. There's a tracking one as well. All right. And then I think I had one more thing that I was going to go over with you. Man, I got that stuff everywhere. What a mess. Jeez. So Father's Day is coming up. That's going to lead me into my positive thoughts here that we're going to end out with. So let me go back and check chat one more time, and then I'm going to give you guys my ending thoughts for tonight. I heard that they love marshmallows. And that's like a great way to attract them. If you want to do that, just know your local laws. Here in South Carolina, I believe it's illegal to feed the gators because they don't want them getting used to people, because then they're going to be more likely to approach people. And then we have incidents with little kids getting hurt and things like that. Don't forget to vote in the poll. I'm going to check back on that in 1 second. Yeah, D2 steel is good stuff. I like it. Man, I hope they don't take away your knives too. Jeez. So when I'm hiking, I bring the Viking Whetstone, which is also available from Wazoo Survival Gear, and I keep one in my bug out bag and my get home bag as well. You could honestly a lot. That would almost not even be an issue. The stuff that really wears down blades and makes you have to go to sharpen them is like your bushcraft kind of stuff where you're hitting a lot of wood with it and that kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's nice. Do they sell frog spears of frogs that you can um there I am not an affiliate with this company that I'm about to talk about, Grim Survival. But they make some cool products too. They've got like these little survival cards, and one of them has a frog. You can get a frog gigging kit built into the card. Basically, you take it apart and assemble it in a survival situation. Yeah, we've all eaten a few insects while we're hiking, of course. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I can't wait to see what they're doing with that one. So, Forager Chick, do you know who's helping them with that one? Because the other one was Dr. Nicole Appalayan and Mark Merriweather, Vorderbruggen. So, do you know who's helping them with the mushroom one? Or are you allowed to tell me? Oh, cool. I love wolves. Hey, we were just talking about you a little while ago, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Appreciate you. And I was telling people to be kind to the people of New York because there are good people who live in Gotham, right? Good to see you. Yeah, if you got anything out of value of this, please consider giving me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I always appreciate that. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Introduce yourself. Let me know who you are. I love talking to the audience. That's actually it's probably the best thing about being a content creator is the interaction with the audience. Yeah, their cards are really cool. Oh, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna help you out right now. So Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival is an affiliate for Grim Survival. So if you want to check out their cards, do me a favor and go over to Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival and get the affiliate link through them. Since I am not an affiliate, there's nothing I can do that's going to help you with this. Go to theirs, get their affiliate link, go in through there, and you'll be helping out a good member of the community, a channel that we know and love. So that I really appreciate it. If you want to go check out their products, do it that way. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it might be a secret, and it might be Dr. Vertebruggen again. I don't know. That's you telling us was the first that I had heard about it. So maybe we weren't supposed to put that out there. I don't know. So you guys didn't hear anything about that new bandana net. It does not exist. These are not the droids you're looking for. Should have linked through our earlier videos. Okay. If you got one, yeah, there you go. So Forager Chick just put up a link to their channel in chat. So go over there, look for some of the earlier videos, and look for the affiliate links. Grim has cool products. Definitely check them out. All right, let's check the poll. I'll give you my thoughts, and then I'm going to wrap this one up. Let's see. Da-da-da. Wow. Only 8% of you would eat lab grown meat. Okay. My thoughts on this. I won't eat cricket flour. I'm not interested in your cricket flour. I might try lab grown meat. I'm adventurous like that. One time, like I might try it one time. I have had the Beyond Meat, which is not lab grown meat. That's like artificial. It's plant based meat. And my wife is actually a vegetarian. I'm a omnivore. She's a vegetarian, and so sometimes I eat whatever she's having, and sometimes that's stuff that has like Beyond Meat in it. And to be honest with you, I like it. It tastes good to me. It doesn't taste exactly like meat. If you're curious, you have to, and then you have to spice it up. it's a little bit bland. If you've never had like a mushroom burger or something like that, then it's kind of hard to describe. The texture is pretty close to meat, and if you spice it up, it's pretty good. So I've had it a few times. Don't hate it. Would I try lab grown meat? Probably at least once I would. Um, but I get why people are like, not for me, because I feel that way about the cricket flour. Now I'm not saying like, yeah, I'm gonna go lab grown meat and that we all should go lab grown meat as the future. Like, no, I like my steak, I like my burgers, I like my hot dogs. Um, sorry, but I would probably try it out of curiosity, and I get why people don't want to, right? So only 8% of you, I guess, would join me in that. So in a survival situation, maybe more, right? Maybe if you're starving enough, you might try it. But Cody Lundgren, you all know Cody Lundgren, famous from Dual Survivor, said that anybody who shows up at his house after SHTF is going in his cooking pot. So apparently he's willing to eat people. I'm not going to do that because you can actually get basically the equivalent. I mean, I wouldn't do it anyways because it's a gross thought, but you could get the equivalent of mad cow disease. Basically, mad cow disease developed because these farmers in Europe were grinding up cows and feeding them to the cows. And they're not supposed to eat each other. That's what started it. There's a thing that happens when you get prions in the brain. I'm not an expert on this. Please don't think that I know exactly what I'm talking about here. Where you get prions in the brain, and basically it makes you go not good. It's not good. So that's what happens to people who do cannibalism. So cannibalism, bad. Okay. So don't do cannibalism. We're gonna vote. We vote that one down. And don't kick frogs either. Okay. While we're watching this, while you're still watching this. Let's go to our positive message of the day. You will eat bugs and you will own nothing, and you will be happy and thankful for it. You will thank your overlords for your bag of cricket flour ration that you get once per month. You will be thankful for that, and you will be grateful. You will practice gratitude. That's not my positive message for the month. My positive message for tonight is, as Father's Day is approaching, I've been thinking about this a lot. Now, you guys have been with me for a long time. The ones you've seen, I did an interview with my dad where he talked about his military experience and his survival training. That's in there. It's still, you can go check it out. But I was blessed with a great dad. I really couldn't have imagined a better dad than the one that I had. And not everybody had that. And I hate that for people. I really do. If you yourself are a dad, or let me back up. If you had a great dad like I did, tell him that. Tell him that. Tell him that you appreciate all those lessons that you learned, right? And all the things that he taught you. And if you were a pain in the butt sometimes, like I was, take accountability for that. And it's a good conversation. You'll be thankful that you had that conversation. If you did not have a good dad, maybe your dad was a POS or absentee or whatever, then I hate that for you. I really do. And I hope and pray that you had somebody in your life who was a father figure, right? Maybe it was an uncle, maybe it was mom's boyfriend, maybe it was a teacher at the school, maybe it was a coach. I hope you had somebody like that. If you're a dad yourself, I want you to, number one, recognize that your job is very, very important. And if you have had problems with your children's mother, don't take that out on the kids. Don't ever do that. Don't ever pull them into the drama that's going on with you and their mother. Not okay. Be there, be present, be active in their life. Teach them things. Tell them you're proud of them. Super important for dads to tell their kids that they're proud of them. Yes, it matters. Way more than you can possibly imagine. I'm a therapist. Trust me. Tell your kids that you're proud of them. Even when they screw up, tell them you're proud of them. And then hold them accountable for their screw up, because that's part of being a parent too. You're not supposed to be their best friend. That might come later in life. I would say my dad's my best friend, tie between him and my wife. But there were times in my life where my dad had to be a disciplinarian. And I'm glad for that because I could have taken a different path in life. I could have made much more bad choices. I could have taken some wrong turns. But because he was on me when I needed him to be on me, it kept me moving in the right direction. Okay. So that is your job as well, to sometimes be excuse my language here, the hard ass, right? I think it was if I'm wrong, I apologize, but Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, I think it was your channel where you said, and if I don't remember, not remembering this correctly, again, I apologize. I think it was your channel that said, boys need a dad to kick their ass and a mom to hug them and tell them it's going to be okay. And if that was you, that was so well said. I think that was like perfectly well said. But dads can hug and love you too, and you should you should show that softer side as well. Okay. Um, Father's Day is coming up. Make the best of that however you can. Do what you can, both for your relationship with your dad if he's still here, and your relationship with your kids if you have kids. Okay, do what you can. I know no relationship out there is perfect, but be the best version of a son or daughter or a father that you can. And remember that it's not always there's gonna be conflict. And that's natural. And especially for boys and their dads. Especially for boys and their dads. That's part of nature, folks. In the animal kingdom, there is example after example of fathers and sons when the son comes of age, basically having conflict, right? So in wild horses, once the male horses are old enough, there is going to be a fight, and the loser of the fight gets pushed out of the herd. In the chicken world, the male roosters, when they're babies, will hide the fact that they're male roosters until they're old enough to defend themselves. Because guess what's going to happen? The rooster's going to go after those male chickens, and sometimes to the death. Now, as humans, thankfully, we're more evolved than that. We don't typically have fathers and sons killing each other. World is a better place for that. This is why we got the thinky thinks, right? This is why humans evolved with higher brain capacity, because we can evolve past those instincts and our nature to do better things. But make no mistake, that nature is still within us. It's part of us, and it is normal for sons and dads to have some conflict. Just don't kill each other, right? And and as you get older, that conflict should be less and less, right? Like you should be able to look back and laugh at those moments where you guys butted heads. All right. So for those, so I'm pretty sure I'll get to talk to you guys live again before Father's Day, but I wanted to get that message out as people are starting to prepare for Father's Day and think about it. And again, I am blessed that I grew up with such a wonderful dad, and he was just down here visiting not too long ago. We had a great visit. I'm so thankful for every moment that I get with him. And I hope and wish that everybody out there has either a dad or somebody that's a father figure for you in your life, that you can have the blessed kind of relationship that I have. Okay. I pray for that for you. I want everybody to have that. All right, folks, let me check your chat one more time. Then we're calling it a night. You guys can go party, do whatever you like to do. Don't forget, Bacon goes live a little bit later on tonight, and you definitely want to check out his stream. Bring yourself your favorite beverage and a good sense of humor, and you're guaranteed to have a good time there. You will eat the bugs, and you will be thankful for them. No, we don't eat people. We don't encourage that here on this channel. Eat cows. Cows are delicious. Cows are delicious. Just not the brains. Yeah, so there are cultures that eat primate brains, like monkey brains and stuff like that. I honestly do not recommend that. We're too closely related to primates, and think about what I was talking about before. Yeah. Craig, jokes on you that they don't have brains. Okay. Say dads actually matter into that. Yes. Yes. And steak matters too. Yes. Dads do matter. Yes. Dads rock. Hopefully your dad rocks. There, right there, right? Sometimes dads have to be sometimes dads have to be a little hard on their kids, right? You have to be there to say, knock it off, you knucklehead, or I'm going to knock your head. No, don't, you don't have to do it like that. But be that person that teaches them right from wrong, right? Moms do it too. But especially for us boys, we kind of need somebody that's a little bit bigger and stronger than us to keep us in line. Awesome. Love that. Thank you. There you go. I love that. Forger Chick, you have a great night. Listen, everybody, have a wonderful night. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Do something fun, get outside. And like I said, next week is very, very questionable if I can go live. I'll do the best that I can, but I will have shorts releasing most of next week. So keep an eye out for those. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button if you got anything of value out of this. And of course, don't forget, keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge. Hey, thank you, mods, too. Appreciate y'all. And don't forget to check out Bacon's channel later on tonight. Have a good night, everybody.